Hey, I'm Scott. I'm going to help you get your irrigation system activated today. We're going to have a 4-step process, but it's pretty simple. First, we need to go outside and find your irrigation backflow prevention device. It should look like one of these that's shown on the screen. The second thing we need to do is go inside and turn on the water in the house. Then we're going to go back outside to open the valves on the backflow device. Then fourth and the last thing we need to do is make sure that the controller is set to the auto or the run position. If at any point during this process you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. I can try to help you through it. Okay, so here we have an irrigation backflow prevention device. This is just one of many different models, but they're all pretty similar. There are 2 water shutoffs, and then there are also 4 test valves, and there's a diaphragm. Most of the time this diaphragm needs to be tightened, so there are 4 bolts on here. They're 1/2-inch bolts. You can tighten those down with a ratchet. And then these 4 test valves need to be closed. In order to close those, use a screwdriver and just turn the slot in the screw head to be perpendicular to the pipe. So the pipe goes this way. You want to turn that screw head so that it is perpendicular to that pipe. So we'll do that for all 4 of these. And then this one here as well. And there are these 2 main shutoffs. I'm going to close these for this stage of the operation, and then we'll come back to these in a few minutes after we turn the water on inside and reopen these. Alright, so here is where the main water supply comes into the home. You want to find this main shutoff. Usually there's a pipe that comes through the basement wall on the front of your home, and then there's a main shutoff. Just above that main shutoff is usually where the irrigation system pipe comes out from the main water supply. So here's the main water supply to your house, and here's the water supply to the irrigation system. One way that I know this is for the irrigation system is because this valve here is off. Anytime that the handle is perpendicular to the pipe, the water or the valve is turned off. When the handle is parallel to the pipe, then the water supply is on. So this is a pretty good guess. This is for the irrigation system. So before we turn on your valve to your sprinkler system, we want to make sure that all the drains are closed. So in this particular application, here is the drain. So we want to make sure that this valve is tightly closed. It may also look like this one here. This is just a regular hose spigot. Again, this would be mounted right above the valve for the sprinkler system. And then here's the third style. This is a little drain for the sprinkler system. Make sure that this is tightly closed. In this particular example, this is not for the sprinkler system, and neither is this. But in your home, you may have any of those 3 systems. So I'm going to open this valve, and I'm going to just crack it open first. Just open it just a little bit. Basically, there's a large amount of air in this pipe, and if you open this valve too quickly, that slug of water is going to travel and compress that air, and it can burst the pipe if it goes too quickly. So I'm going to turn this open just a little bit at first until I hear the sound of water rushing through the pipe stop, and then I can know that I can open it the rest of the way. Now after you open this, just check that there's no leaks, that there's no water dripping from anywhere, and make sure that everything is good to go. And then we're going to go back outside and open the 2 valves on the backflow prevention device to pressurize the rest of the sprinkler system. So now we're back outside at the backflow prevention device. We need to open these 2 valves that we closed earlier. Now that the water is on inside, we can open these valves. I want to open the one that is to the house side of the system. If you don't know which side that is, it really doesn't make a difference. So I'm going to open this one first. I'm going to turn it to that the valve handle is perpendicular to the pipe, and that'll open the water and allow the backflow prevention device to become pressurized. After this is pressurized, I'm going to slowly open the valve on the other side, and this is going to allow water to enter the rest of the sprinkler system. Again, I want to open this valve slowly so the large slug of water doesn't slam through the system and break the pipes. I can hear the water traveling through the pipe, and when that sound stops, then I can open the valve the rest of the way. This might take just a minute, or it might take several minutes. Alright, so now the sound is stopped. There's no more water flowing through this valve, so I'm just going to make sure that all the valves on this main line, these two valves rather, are open so that the water can flow to the sprinkler system. And I want to make sure that none of these test ports are leaking and that no other part of the backflow prevention device is leaking. So here's the irrigation controller. Typically this will be mounted in your garage. It may also be in another part of your home. You need to find your controller. This particular one is made by the brand of Rainbird. There are several other brands as well, so yours might not look the same as this one does. So we're going to open that front cover, and inside here we're going to turn the system to auto run, and then the system should turn on and operate as it's designed on a regular schedule.